Alright, well, I want to do a more personal video today talking about my vegan story, why I am a vegan. And grew up in, New Zealand family with Italian heritage. Food was very important. You got the meatballs, the bolognese, all that jazz. Meat and three veg is our New Zealand culture. But when I was a teenager, maybe 15 or 16, I would listen to this talkback show every Sunday on a radio station called Channel Z, 9 to 12, till midnight. And this guy was talking about a lot of stuff. His name was Martin Bomber Bradbury, and kind of political activist. Got me thinking about a lot of stuff as a young guy. One of them, he was talking about how he finally got the balls to stop eating meat. How he felt that, morally he didn't want to do that, and he just finally made the choice to live in alignment with his beliefs on that. And I kind of thought about it myself, and I wanted to try it. And what I did is I just stopped eating meat and didn't announce it to anybody. And I guess my family noticed. Where's the meat? You're just eating your mashed potatoes and peas and shit. Where's the chicken? So, basically, my parents didn't want me to be vegetarian because they thought I was going to die. And I'm not exaggerating. They were crying and begging me not to do it. I guess they were ignorant about it. They thought, protein deficiency and all that stuff. I had some health problems when I was younger, including like a hole in the heart or something. So they just they didn't understand. But I guess being their child under their roof, you got to live by their rules. And I just it's just okay. This is gonna be so much hassle. I wasn't very informed of the facts like I am now with health sustainability and ethics. I was like, okay, I'll just wait until I leave home, which will be 18 or 19. So fast forward a few years, I'm 18, 19, I'm still living at home. I didn't go vegetarian. I guess it just kind of faded away. But when I was 20, after I've had a gap year, it was my second year of university. I just said, hey man, I'm just going to move out. I'll find a place that's fairly cheap. And I did that, and when I did that, I said, now it's sort of like a new identity. Like, I'm out on my own now. I'm going to give the vegetarian thing a shot. So, what really influenced me at that stage when I was at university was I started reading a lot of Vedic Vaishnava literature, otherwise known as Hare Krishna literature, and they're all about not eating meat as well. They're vegetarians. They don't eat eggs. They do eat some milk products. But I guess ethically, that kid was very convincing to me. I marinated on it. I decided, I want to do that. I don't really need to kill animals. I don't really need to eat them when I can eat plant foods. We live in the society, we have agriculture. It's not that hard for me. It's a good decision. That was an ethically based decision to go vegetarian. I tiptoed around the eggs. I ended up not eating eggs after a while. And the milk, I kept drinking the milk. Now, I never noticed about the health benefits of a plant-based diet. I mean, anecdotally, I noticed, but I never really paid that much attention. And I certainly wasn't very informed of the facts. I noticed that about within a month after going vegetarian, without trying at all, I lost probably almost 5 kilograms. I did notice that, and my health was pretty good. Now, fast forward 2 years, I've moved back home. I decided to give up on the vegetarianism because, like a lot of, 80% of people quit eventually. I just thought, I can't do it, man. I'm just one person. I can't make a difference. It's so futile. And, so I started eating the meat again. And, man, I'll put some pictures here of what I look like after probably a year or so being back on animal products. I had never looked after my health that much. But when you're vegetarian, you know, you can, if you eat a whole foods diet, you can do it without, almost unconsciously. But yeah, I was just all puffy and fat and shit. It was disgusting. I went to live in Korea for a few years and just party boyed it out, like smoking, drinking, fucking fatty food, nasty food, greasy pizza. Bloated up to like 83, 84 kilos at my max. That's like, a lot of people say, oh, you fucking skinny, man. You so skinny, 84 kilos. Wow, you're like a anorexic supermodel. Okay, but for me, that's fat. Like, I'm about 70, 72 kilograms now. I think that's a pretty decent weight for me. But I felt like a fucking fatty. I didn't like how I felt at all. And that's partly because I wasn't living a healthy lifestyle with sleep and water and food and all that. So, moved back to New Zealand, and I had been kind of marinating on the health aspects of a plant-based diet. I've been researching that. I hadn't put much of it into practice, but so I guess something clicked. I started reading books like John McDougall's Starch Solution, Joel Furham's Eat to Live, some of Andreas Marie's stuff. I watched all of McDougall's lectures, you know. I was listening to people like Dernwright and Freely back then. And kind of becoming familiar with the health aspect of it. And then eating more plant-based, knowing that it's nutritionally superior. Then getting back into the ethics, watching things like Earthlings, Cowspiracy, bring the environmental thing back into it. I probably went vegan approximately 18 months ago. There's probably a 6 to 12 month transition period where I started. So I had a background with going vegetarian, kind of understanding it. But it's kind of what this guy Joey Carlson talks about, the Illuminati triangle, vegan Illuminati. There's health, ethics, and sustainability. Some people say that plant-based diet is, you know, health, and then sustainability. Veganism is all about ethics. It's the philosophy. It's the unnecessary use of animals. And really, I think that is a part of it. A huge, huge part of it. I decided to go vegan. And I've got to be honest, like, I weigh like 72 kilograms now. And I don't really worry too much about what I eat, especially in terms of portions. I just make sure I eat the right foods, which for me is mostly whole plant foods. And I really, really believe that we don't need to eat animals. And yeah, I don't really think that milk is a healthy food, to be honest. But let's say that it was a really healthy food. In the modern factory environment, in order to get milk as a commodity for profit, with your profit margin as the bottom line, you inevitably need to slaughter cows to keep the profit margins good, and you involve the exploitation and suffering of animals in the process of getting that milk. For example, taking the calf away. The milk's intended for the calf, but we can't feed the calf the milk because we need to drink that milk, and therefore calf and mother are separated. And that's one of the practices that I feel is unethical, along with things like, say, dehorning, for example. So that's why I don't want to drink milk, because I believe it's unethical because of the practices involved. And some people will say, you know, you could do it ethically or whatever, and veganism is only the unnecessary exploitation of animals. But in my opinion, veganism is about the unnecessary use of animals. Because if we use animals, then most likely the history shows that they will be exploited in some way. It's inevitable. So many benefits of not eating animal products. The only benefits I can really think of is appealing your taste buds, satisfying, gratifying your taste buds, or perhaps appealing through traditions. You know, I don't really see any good reason to do it. And once you, with any habit, once you're out of the habit, it's really easy for me to live the lifestyle I live now. Of course, there was a point where it was quite hard. I guess that's what you call the transition period. Even me, when I was vegetarian, I hadn't eaten meat for 2 years. I had experienced after 1 year or so, it was very easy for me to just live that lifestyle. And then having gone back to meat, it was hard for me to transition through again. It's a psychological thing. I think it's not like heroin where you have real physical withdrawals. Although there are some health aspects, like with the carnitine amino acid, which your body stops producing as much because it's contained in the meat, so your body doesn't need to produce as much. Then when you stop eating meat, your body needs to adjust to producing its own carnitine again. But I mean, to be honest, that's a very minor aspect. So yeah, vegan story. That's in a nutshell the summary of how I became vegan. I think that I came back to it based on the plant-based diet, which led me again back to the ethics, which I always believed in. I think I just got apathetic in it. But people often say that it's the ethics that will keep you vegan, and that's true. But the fact is that I have never felt as good in my life, energy level wise and so on, as I do now, taking care of my sleep, taking care of my my diet, my exercise and so on. And that is also something that will help to keep you vegan. There's just so many great things about eating less animal products or eating no animal products. 51% of the greenhouse gases coming from animal agriculture, or the amount of deforestation that is contributed to from animal agriculture. These ecological problems are big things. The oceans, the dead zones in the oceans, the acidification of the oceans. And if you really don't give a fuck about other people, other things, I guess you could always be selfish and just eat a plant-based diet, and those good things will happen anyway. So those were some of the facts that kind of, when you figure them out and you digest them, it really kind of blows your mind. And it's kind of like swallowing a red pill. Once you know them, it's really hard to rationalize going back to a lifestyle that includes animal products. So I just wanted to make this video. I know that people have a certain image of vegans as maybe these flaky, pasty, yuppie kind of people, but really we're just everyday people. There's all kinds of vegans out there, and really it's not such a bad thing, is it? To not eat animals, and to, especially when this time we're living in, it can be so helpful for our environment and also for our health. So there you go.